Welcome to the implementation overview for the Year 6 using visual frames to improve children's confidence and ability to access the 2-3 mark inference questions. How we help you to set up the evaluation. The first thing we ask you to do is identify a group of target learners. You then complete the pre-test with all the learners, and then the What Worked Teachers platform will randomly allocate these into the intervention and the comparison group. For the duration of the trial, the intervention group will receive the intervention and the comparison will continue as business as normal. And at the end of the evaluation, both groups will complete the post-assessment task, which is the same as the pre. The What Worked Teachers platform will then generate an impact report to help you determine if the intervention has had a positive impact in your school. If it has, you can then open this up to the comparison group. So planning. Let's look at this from a step-by-step approach. Step 1. Identify a group of target learners to participate in the evaluation from the same year group or class. Step 2. Read through the Inference Teacher document guidance, suggested session structure, and download the resources. If required, you can use an AI prompt to create weekly text to use to support the intervention delivery. Step 3. Complete the pre-assessment test with all learners, record the marks in the Excel tracker that's located in the resource folder, and then input these into the pre-test on your trial wizard. So moving on to step 4. Using the trial wizard in the What Worked Teachers platform, it will randomly allocate learners to the intervention and control group. Step 5. For the intervention group of students, they will receive at least a weekly targeted small group intervention to use the impression evidence quote framework in guided reading sessions. The control group will continue with business as usual for the duration of the trial. And step 6, complete the post-assessment test, same as the pre to both the intervention and control group at the end of the evaluation. Record the marks in the Excel tracker and then input the post-test data onto the trial wizard. You will then complete a short process evaluation. Click Analyze to generate an impact report. And if the intervention is proved positive, you can open this up to the control students. So the intervention is targeted at Year 6 pupils. It's delivered by a teaching assistant in small groups, and each session will take approximately 20 minutes. In the guided reader sessions, you will use the visual frame with the children to help structure their responses to the inference questions, which is the impression, evidence, and quote. And you'll find an example of this in the resource folder. The school that has developed this approach has shared their suggested session structure, which includes a 5-minute reading, 5 to 10 minutes guided discussion and modelling, 5 minutes for model writing answer in the frame, and then 5 minutes independent practice. And you will find a copy of this in the resource folder. You'll also find a tracking spreadsheet, which allows you to link an anonymized student ID to a student in the class. And finally, just going on to some key considerations, logistical issues need to be considered before using a targeted literacy strategy as an intervention. So is there a suitable time in the day for the delivery? Is there a suitable location? For the resources, have you got the visual templates available? And will you link this to any rewards? So logistical barriers are common in any intervention delivered in schools, so it's just important to consider these prior to starting. Moving on to the assessment. So in the resource folder, you will find the assessment task, which is marked out of 15. Please record the score for each learner in the Excel tracker and then input this into the What Worked Teachers platform. For the post-assessment at the end of the trial, use the same assessment that was used in the pre to retest and measure the impact of the intervention. As the same assessment is used for both the control and intervention groups, familiarity should not bias the results. And just please make sure you record the score for each learner in your Excel tracker and then input this into the What Worked Teachers platform. So some final assessment guidance, complete this under test conditions. It can be done by a teacher or teaching assistant. Make sure you print the assessment task and then record your scores in the tracking spreadsheets. So that is the end of the implementation guidance. The next thing to do is to download your research protocol, your resource folder, and then start your trial wizard.